Hi there. This is my last Tumblr post, and it's also a vlog. Today I'm going to be commenting on an article on the Globe and Mail's website about women's rights titled Canada's Best in G20 for Women, or Is It, by Dakshana Baskaramirti. Um, the piece is about a poll that was released. It was given to 370 gender experts around the world, and they ranked Canada as the best. The author of the article, Dakshana, strongly disagrees with that choice. She goes on to say that in the 90s, Canada was probably the best for women. Um, there were many studies and polls done, and it was known that Canada um, was the best for women's rights. It says here, um, Canada is particularly prone to be seen through a mythical lens, says Dr. LaHaye, because it was ranked in first place in the United Nations Development Index from 1995 to 1999. But since then, Canada's ranking has dropped. So basically, the article talks about how people still have this perception that Canada is the best in the world for women because of our reputation in the 90s. But since then, we've really let it slide. Um, there's an example here where, in according to Statistics Canada, women make 68.3% what their male counterparts make with the same education. And in 1990, women made 69.2%. So to compare those, in 20 years, what women have made compared to men has actually dropped by about a percent. Um, so that just shows that Canada's really kind of moved backwards instead of progressing forwards with women's rights. It goes on to talk about some of the other high-ranking ones were United Kingdom, Germany, what else? I think Australia, and then at the bottom were Saudi Arabia and India because of their domestic violence, unequal rights, and sexual slavery, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, the article is basically about how Canada isn't deserving of this title, and we really need to step up our women's rights and what we've been doing for women if we want to actually, um, you know, deserve to have the title of number one G20 country with women's rights. This article strongly relates to the key media concept that all media has social and political values, um, or social and political implications. Sorry, um, it's very much in the article. It's a lot about politics, how the countries are run. Like Germany has a female prime minister, and they're seen as very progressive with women's rights. And so a lot of it is relating back to political views, the social kind of the social thought or shared thought that Canada is best for a woman has to relate with social and political implications. The whole piece is really a social and political piece. I'm sure if you looked, it would be under, the politics heading on the Globe Mail website. Um, yeah. So to conclude, um, the world sees Canada as one of the leading progressive countries for women's rights, but in actuality, if you look at the facts, we're not. And thanks to Dakshana, she's brought this to the foresight. So we've actually, if you compare Canada from what it was in the 90s to what it is now, we've actually moved back as to related the women's quality of health, their access to resources, their freedom from trafficking and slavery. All of that has actually moved back from what we were in the 90s. Um, so, in my opinion, if Canada wants to, you know, say that they're number one with women because of this poll, I think they need to change what they're doing and really tweak the system and become Canada's number one, or sorry, the world's number one leader for women if they want to give themselves this title, because right now I think it's a false implication, it's a false title, and we don't deserve it as a country.